So, from the top, last time we left off, essentially, you have reached Massantea. You have managed to find a place to park your boat. You have been recruited into the plan for the makeshift armada to battle with the Raiders of the Eclipse. You have ordered a boat. I don't think you have paid for it yet. I'd have to double check that. You got a few extra new nameless crew members and at least one named Jern. He was previously a gunman for a merchant boat that could afford guns. And you were also researching a little bit about the area and trying to find out where you could find some high-end stuff. Hello, subs. And you were able to figure out that the market would be the best place, but it's higher up in town and it would take you a while to get there. And by the time you did, it's being this late at the day, it would likely be closed by the time you got there. So instead, went to the bar, and that's when you hired the new hands. And then I believe chaos happened, and we lost Aaron that night, so we ended early.
Oh, that's right. That's when my cat destroyed my headset.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to... I forgot. I'd forgotten that because it's been so long.
Been an age.
It's been almost 4 months.
Well, yeah, it's been a while.
So last I believe we kind of left off things was you guys might have been heading back towards the boat, but that's about where the things were headed anyways. So
yeah, I think I was being carried by Garoff, and
oh, that's right, he did carry you back.
Yeah,
you got yourself blitzed because you rolled poorly all night.
Right.
I'm just probably gonna be carried while I'm drunk, just like, when's the last time you told me I was pretty? You haven't told me that forever. All I hear is how crazy I am.
I tell you every single day.
That sounded less like Garoth and more like Eeyore.
kind of where it's headed right now.
This is what I get for dating crazy.
This is why you don't get attached to wizards.
I just see this big buff woman because I was like, what'd you just say?
Where's the dearest holy well I can dump you in?
I think what are the characters' names?
Duncan the Witch.
I think Valerius has one.
That wasn't. I don't even know what that reaction was supposed to be. But anyways,
I said I think Valerius has one.
A well?
A well?
Well, not a well. Maybe a tub full of holy water, at least.
Moving
I don't know,
on.
I've turned mine into beer at this point. I am getting drunk because I lost a conversion tournament. I don't know, a conversion contest with Theobald. He could convert more people to Mitra than I could, so now I'm aimless in my life, and I've gotten pretty drunk.
Probably helps that Theobald himself is a convert, and he's a warrior as well. So, like the other NPCs would relate to him more.
I'm a warrior. Yeah, I come from a warrior monastery.
Yeah, but you're dressed in a robe.
Yeah, as like Gareth passing by while you're holding me while you're drunk. It's like, oh look, more booze. No,
not now.
Theobald's a guy walking around wearing plate mail. Like a normal person can relate to him more.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm probably pretty sheltered too.
Yes, because you've been in a monastery all your life, you're still very sheltered. You're not focused on warriorship. You're more focused on schooling and learning.
Like your character socially is more like where Valena was character progression back at the beginning of the game.
I don't think there's much change. She's more crazy than before, but
She doesn't talk to skulls anymore.
We can fix that. I'm just kidding.
And that's why we left Valena behind. Bye-bye!
Yeah, she's just holding a skull out and just stranded on an island. It's like, who's the prettiest one? You are.
We leave her on the island with a handful of skulls and her wolf and her, what was it, crow? Raven?
And yeah.
Fuck leaving the wolf.
One of the barbarians may have adopted the wolf. We'll see.
I don't even remember what we were supposed to do the following day. Like, I know I had to buy the warship, but
Lots of things to buy the next day.
We had some sort of plan to go and recruit more people to be able to man the warship, but like I forgot what our plan was.
Wish we wrote it down.
I didn't even catch that part, so
Wait,
I
let
was
me
just
see here.
speedily
Do I have
like
anything on my
re-listening to the
character
last
sheet?
time.
Huh?
Sorry, was that Aaron?
Oh, I'm seeing if I have. I took notes on my character sheet. Let's see. I may have just given up and stopped taking notes, though. Come on. Come on.
Last notes, character is so
Investigate
depressed.
a farm with Alona, Tarthun, Sabotai, and Theobald.
That was at the
Xena's
previous
invasion.
town.
Cultists attack the Lord and Xena's group. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the session before.
I worship.
Yeah, the thing is, like I said, is I don't remember what our plan was to recruit people
I
because
do
that was so
vaguely recall
long
you're
ago.
trying to cook up something, but I don't recall what it was. So you wake up the next morning and have forgotten what the plans were already.
More or less.
Unless maybe it was like a plan to like go to somewhere bigger and try the same stuff. But
I think there was a guild we were supposed to go to that what's the new recruit's name again?
Oh, the Durin.
Yeah, I think Durin had recommended going to like a guild and or something, but I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I can't recall off the top of my head. That was like part of the conversations I must have skipped over. I'm lucky I caught his name. Also, off the cuff name.
So what's happening on the ship right now?
Everyone's asleep.
Everyone's
Okay.
asleep. We're just trying to decide if we're moving on yet to the next day or and what people we're going to plan for the next day again, but we're kind of hitting dead ends.
I
So we
don't
might
even
just
make
go
it
to the
back
next
to my
day.
bed. I just slump against the bed on the ship.
You just pass out as one of the others is watching over the ship at night.
Mm-hmm. Probably with a bottle of grog in my hand. Yeah,
No, I just saw something. Just see Geralt put down Valena by one side and an empty drinking jug in her hand next to Valeria's. And then he grabs a piece of charcoal and starts drawing things on their faces.
I don't think Garroth would do that.
Nah.
Maybe one of the other crewmen does, though. There's
So
gotta be
I just
comedy
imagine her
drinking.
passed out behind a giant keg. Yes, Mitra loves
Yeah.
me.
If there was anyone out of the main group that I could see drawing faces on people, it'd probably be Giselle.
Just to see if she could sneak away with it.
Yeah, I mean, she is the rogue out of the group.
I just wonder if you guys actually get back to your quarters or if you just pass out on the deck.
Well, that's hilarious. Garoth was taking Valena back to the quarters and was probably going to lock the door once they're in there just to make sure she doesn't run off and pass out somewhere else.
He hadn't done any major drinking?
He had not, no. I believe I purposely made him kind of walk away for a little bit, then kind of keep an eye on things and come back. He's the responsible driver. Or in this
Park
case,
this
carrier.
I think I remember what part of it was, the plan was. I think Thelona was supposed to go with Durin to try and recruit people while I go to buy the ship.
I just remember there was a huge fight between Thelona and Valena.
That happened quite a while ago.
Yeah.
They made a great thumbnail.
Did it? I don't remember.
I
Yeah,
edited essentially anime expressions on the characters' icons. Yeah.
I thought I was supposed to go up to the marketing district and deal with the getting the weapons made.
Actually, you're right. That's what it was. I remembered something involving you dealing with something. That's right. Durin was supposed to help you find the blacksmith.
Mhm.
Maybe that's probably what it is that Durin's going to help you find the blacksmith the next day.
I think maybe I had actually. I think I might have actually decided to have Roger and Tarthun go recruit
Oh, that might have been what it is, yeah.
crew members because
Because actually,
we're
you know what,
basically
that
just
makes
getting
sense because
nameless.
now I think of it, I have an actually really easy idea for that too.
Because if it's just mostly going to be nameless deckhands, I don't think the actual player characters need to be the ones to deal with recruiting them.
Right. That means the GM just needs to bring up a dice roller. And if I remember correctly, I think Wizards of the Coast finally killed their dice roller for some reason.
Yes, they did.
Which, shame.
Very much shame.
Probably has something to do with the fact that they bought D&D Beyond and probably plan on doing something with that instead.
Well, that's like a paid thing. This was just like a free dice roller on their website that they've had around since like 3rd edition.
Oh, they don't like free things.
Tell me about it.
Why get it for free when you can pay for it?
I think because so many online things have a dice roller built in them, it's probably why they just said, we don't need to host this on our website anymore.
Yeah, but theirs was one of the better ones.
Yeah. It looked nice. It was presentable. It was easy to use.
It was impartial.
Had multiple dice, very easily usable and easily rollable, and yoink.
I've just been looking into virtual tabletops and stuff. I got a whole bunch of them.
I think I
pinned
found
in
a
my
decent one. It's still not as nice, but it'll at least work.
Discord. Did you see all the ones I have pinned in the Discord? Or my Discord?
All the tabletop stuff? No, there's so many things out there now. I just wish one of them would actually finish development and be usable.
I mean, Astral was apparently a really good one, but Clay says that they're shutting that down towards the end of August. I found a
Shaking
few
my
other
head.
ones.
Because nobody knows how to make it profitable. There's already 2 big dogs in the yard.
So, tell me when it gets to be the next day.
Is everyone ready for next day then?
I think so.
Okay,
I
doke.
guess so.
So,
It's whether you want to deal with me going to the shipyard or
yeah, I guess the
Alana
first question
first.
is,
Oh,
who
no,
wakes up
I'm the-
first?
Is there a
Well,
Mitra
how would
Shrine
we
in town?
how would we figure that out? I would like to think it was Thelona.
Well, the one thing we do got to discuss is what weapons Thelona's having made. I don't know if we actually went over that.
We did, but it's been so long I forgot the list.
Yeah, it's a log. We might have had to make a checklist. Most
Because I
likely,
think you were going for a trident instead of a the weapon you're used, so that there was
'Cause
only one
Because I was trying to go with a
the piercer.
piercing weapon.
yeah, you wanted to mix up your weapon type, but also give you a little bit of range, so you're not always directly in melee. And have a little bit of reach away from things.
Because I know it was Thelona wanted a great sword. Gareth probably wanted a honking big hammer.
It's either a hammer or an axe, I forget which. He's been relying on both of them, to be honest.
I think he was going to go with a hammer because that's been his unique damage. He was basically the guy who provided bludgeoning.
Yeah, he has been a main on bludgeoning, so probably a hammer then would remain his main.
A star metal maul.
Basically.
I don't know if Theobald wanted to replace his thrower.
He's got his thrower, but he could use a main weapon upgrade.
What does he use?
I believe he just has a regular longsword.
Okay, so one-handed longsword. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at the weapon list again real quick.
I think I just have whips and light crossbows.
We could. There's always something to find for that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure star metal would work into that right now, unless you get a couple arrows. Or you said longbow?
Crossbow.
Crossbow. So some bolts maybe, with star metal tips.
Well, I think I was thinking of getting a one-hander and getting a shield so that I could have a little extra armor. That's right. I remember what I was thinking of now. I was gonna get a star metal war pick.
Oh, that's right. You were going to go for that. I don't know why, but yeah, you were thinking of that. I recall.
It's a one-handed piercing weapon.
Okay.
And I thought it would be a little more interesting than having a rapier, which is the typical like bard rogue thing, but my character isn't heavily reliant on dexterity, so I don't really see the need to do that specific kind of setup.
And Giselle, if she was to get anything, she would either have a short sword or a rapier, and that would be a star metal.
I think I'm wisdom based.
Yeah, you're mostly wisdom based, so you're not a lot of your focus is relying on your strength or your dex. You're usually sitting back and using your very interesting eclectic collection of spells.
Yeah.
Because you're a holy person.
So I don't know what weapons I would use to enhance myself then.
Well, you've already kind of decided on what you were using. Again, that's not necessarily like we're going to get you those particular weapons much in the way of star metal. Although we can probably supply you with like several star metal tipped bolts or something for your bow, which will increase its damage.
And you could also lose those. You're better off getting some kind of weapon that's not like
Actually,
disposable.
What is your character's like best stat physically? Your best stat is dex. So you're better off with something that's a dex weapon.
Dex weapon?
Mm-hmm. Because you at least got a +2 in that. That's probably why you went with a whip initially.
Oh.
Because I believe whips are rather unique.
Yeah, they have a
dex weapon.
finesse. They have the finesse property on it.
Mm-hmm. Here's where I bookmarked my book.
Question is, what weapons
napkin.
is her class actually able to equip?
Actually, that's a good question. Let's scroll down here. I believe it should be listed here. Clubs, daggers, maces, light hammer, maul flail.
Where are you seeing that, Matt?
Quarter staffs. It's underneath your stats. Yeah, right next to your spells.
Okay.
Quarter staffs, whips, light crossbow, martial adept, herbalism kit, and a couple of languages.
Martial adept. What does that give you?
Martial weapons.
That means everything. That literally means everything.
It basically means, yeah, you don't have any particular limits outside what your stats are giving you.
Ew.
So you've been at least schooled enough that you actually know how to fight.
Yeah, I told you, it was the battle monastery.
And your main focus in physical stat is dex, so again, you're best off with a dex or both weapon. Although there is a specific list there of some of the ones that will best suit you. So clubs, daggers, maces, light hammer.
I got a weird question.
Small flail. Hmm?
Would it be possible to have my Atlantean greatsword melted down and made into a shield?
Yeah, your Atlantean greatsword melted down and made into a shield. That actually probably would not be a bad idea. I've been actually contemplating something, not exact, but something somewhat similar for Geralt, actually.
Because that would basically make it so I'd have a +1 shield instead of a +1 greatsword.
Mm-hmm. Actually, speaking of which,
In this, it's more what metal what item's made out of than like any sort of enchantment.
Where does it say dexterity for weapons?
It's if it has the finesse property.
Oh, the finesse.
yeah, so it has finesse property. That means it's allowed to be used by dex instead
Yeah, you
of
can
strength.
use your dex modifiers instead of strength.
So daggers, hand axes, light hammers, which we mentioned earlier.
Now, hand axe doesn't have finesse.
That's what I thought just said.
It says light, but that doesn't say
Oh,
finesse.
never mind.
I see a rapier. Time to run around raping people. Wait.
Oh my!
Oh, bye.
I made a
You're on stream,
problem.
folks.
And we are canceled. Thank you. Good night. Tip of the hat. Farewell.
Yeah.
Sheet is banned.
Demonetized.
Ha! Fooled you. You thought I made money on YouTube.
Not with our mouths. Not with our filthy, filthy mouths.
I can't
Surprised
help it,
we have
okay?
accounts on Twitter. Finesse.
And our gutter brains.
Looks
Darts.
like short sword, scimitar, rapier.
No offense, but compared to Twitter, we're much more friendly.
And we're not even going to get to. We're not even going to get to Reddit.
Lord.
I think I'm gonna, man. I think I'm gonna get like a short sword.
Short sword? Alright.
I mean, I guess I could do a scimitar too, just to make it.
Oh yeah, to make
No,
it
short
more
sword is
flavor.
Piercing. I'll do piercing damage because I don't know how useful slashing damage is. Pretty sure short swords are easy to come by.
Follow.
What are you laughing
Follow.
at?
It's just because how many. Now we're gonna go from having like a bunch of slashing damage to like a bunch of piercing damage.
Wow, the main boss has a lot of holes in him.
I mean,
thank you
we
for
already-
the follow,
we already-
darn Irishman.
Because that means
thanks,
now
thanks
our-
to your
now
potty
we'll
mouth
just
there,
have
and we got a new follower.
Thelona and Theobald doing slashing damage. Everybody else will be doing piercing, or Garroth will doing bludgeoning.
Well, I guess I could
Yeah.
do. I guess
What
I
we
could
need
do
is
slashing damage.
another what we need is another bludgeoner.
Well,
Yeah, the thing is, there's no
Because-
bludgeon weapons that are finesse.
Yeah.
Because I
That's true.
guess smashing things is not a very finesse style of combat.
Nope.
Yeah. Otherwise, I can do scimitar. Scimitar is slashing damage.
Actually, I'm going to change what Geralt is going to get.
Oh.
Oh.
I do not think what he's usually been using was it again?
It was
A maul. So he's been getting 2d6, so it's been basically rolling a d12 with some bonuses there. I'm actually going to switch him to a warhammer for the star metal weapon.
That's still bludgeoning.
It's still bludgeoning, but it also has versatile.
Which means
Yeah,
it
but
can
that
be
actually
used
does less
one-handed or
damage than a two-handed than the two-handed weapon does.
Yes, but it also means that when the pinches come, that he can actually protect himself.
You mean you're basically saying then he can also use a shield?
Mm-hmm. He
Or
can
he could
actually
use
defend
two
himself a
mauls.
little bit more.
Give him 2 mauls. Just give him 2 hammers.
A
I
maul
don't
is a two-handed weapon. He can't use
He
two
can't-
of them.
Yeah, this is not Diablo 2.
This isn't
Well, no.
World of Warcraft.
Well,
Well, what are you giving him, right? So
No,
he's
that-
one-handed.
if this was 3rd edition, there was a feat that allowed you to do that. But it was broken and I think later banned.
That got figures.
I can't imagine why.
Can't imagine why looking
Man
at
has
Diablo
2
2.
claymores. That's not fair.
What am I supposed to do? You defense against that. I'm
I
not
just
prepared.
figured, yeah, Drizzt has to fight some guy with like two-handed swords. He goes, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm you, but better."
Ooh, and runs away.
Summon Rust Monster.
It's like, I have 200 great swords, and
I was
break it.
planned for this. I also have two-handed clubs.
Alright, okay, I break in with my 2 great swords. What do I see? A clear room and some jewels in the wall. Okay. I slash around with my great swords and I charge at the jewels. You run into a giant and keep. What? It's clear. No!
Swoop.
Alright,
love
man, so
that.
you can just drag and drop a scimitar on me if you want.
Well, we're talking about Starmel though, so we're going to be tweaking some things when we do it.
Okay.
And GM will help.
It's called you drag and drop a +3 and change the name.
Yep. Those that know, and those that don't, we help.
And those who will probably never learn.
So are we done with the list now?
I think that's basically the list. Is that yeah?
Oh, unless you want to give Valena something like a quarterstaff, but I don't think you want to do that.
Yeah, your focus is not really your weapon. That being said, you have a higher chance of finding a better improved staff in a random event or chasing the story than you would actually trying to craft it yourself right now.
That's what I figured, yeah.
Or trying to buy it.
Yeah, because most staffs you'd want as a wizard would not be one that's just meant for hitting things.
Staves usually have flashy extra things on them. Mmm.
Like the staff of high shrubberies.
Anyway,
Staff of Neef.
Yeah, basically that's the list of weapons, and then melting down my old sword, turning it into a shield.
we got that. I was going to do something in the morning if I'm not stopped.
All right. I don't. You're one of the 2 earliest ones, anyways. So yeah.
All right. I'm going to get out of bed, and I'm going to sneak down the pathway to Garoth and Valena's room.
Okay.
Can I get in at this point or not?
If are you like just trying to push in?
I was trying to get in, through the door normally, well, quietly.
I will say that you try to push it on the door, but then you notice that it's locked. But as you are realizing this, give me a perception check.
Perception.
Jokes about my real-life perception being somewhat middle of the road. I'd say that's high enough. You realize it's locked, but as you're realizing this, you listen just for a moment, and you do hear somebody's moving inside. So you wait a moment or two, and not very much longer, you hear the door unlock, and Garoth is starting to come out.
I would hide at that point.
Oh, okay. So as you're hearing the moving around, you just duck into one of the other rooms quick? Alright. So after you wait a few moments, the door unlocks. Garoth comes out, kind of looks around for a moment, something feels odd for like something odd just happened, but then I'm gonna say he probably doesn't have a high enough perception to notice anything. But I'm gonna say that since this is happening right now, he's gonna double check anyway. Yeah, if I can get the right list of things, here we go. Character sheet. Persuasion. Perception, there it is. Actually, he's got a decent perception. I keep forgetting that.
Nope.
Never mind,
With
he rolled
that
really
roll.
damn low. Yeah, he doesn't know it. He kind of looks around for a moment, doesn't really notice anything, just kind of shrugs his... He just had a weird notion and just continued to walk off as he plans to head up to the top of this boat.
Okay. I will wait until he's good and gone,
Okay.
and then sneak into Velena's room.
Alright.
She just passed out on the bed.
I would assume she usually is for at least another hour or two.
I'm going to tiptoe up to the bed. See if I can gently, without waking her up, gather her up.
Okay.
And then sneak up to another portion of the deck where Garroth isn't.
You think you'd probably need to do a stealth. for
Yeah, at
that.
this point...
Oh, yes.
He's just saying what his intent is, and I'm letting him finish what his intent is. So, in order to get Velena out of the bed, first of all, you're gonna have to do something to, like... What do you roll for this? Lordy. Velena, I assume, is gonna have to do perception, I think, to wake up.
Alright. Probably going to be passed out the whole trip, but knowing Milena, but...
But what would be against perception?
Actually, if I were to call it, I would say it would be perception with a disadvantage.
Well, the thing is, he's gonna be disadvantaging himself by literally picking you up and walking off with you.
But you gotta remember, she still has a hangover from last night for drinking so heavily.
It doesn't stop you from being waking up completely.
Yeah, that doesn't. Being drunk does not stop your ability to suddenly go, "What the fuck you doing?"
Yeah, having a hangover also doesn't keep you passed out. Like, after you've been passed out for a while, the fact that you're actually drunk wears off.
Mm-hmm.
Hangover just means you feel like shit when you wake up.
Okay,
Would it be a sleight of hand, or would that be a stealth? Stealth would be more like getting across the room, which you didn't.
I
have
think
much
you'd
of
have
a
to do
problem, so
both,
it'd be
because sleight of hand would be picking her
You
up
know what?
without
Yeah.
waking her up, and then stealth would be not getting noticed by anybody.
Yeah, so the first would be the sleight of hand.
I don't care if I get noticed, because if anybody comes out, I'm going to be doing the shh motion with my other hand.
Okay, yeah, so give me a big old sleight of hand there. Damn! Alright, and Velena, where's your perception?
I knew it. I knew
You
it.
didn't need to handicap yourself to make this one a low roll. Yowza. Okay. So yeah, you literally scoop up the wizard with minimal effort. She's just snorting and snoring away in your arm as you gently pick her up and start walking off with her. So you're literally not concerned about stealth?
No, I mean, I'm still moving quietly because I don't want to wake her up by, large stepping. But,
All right.
the odds of me running into somebody is
Honestly, the
another
odds
matter.
the odds of running into anyone this early in the morning is very minimal. There's like maybe a grand total of 4 or 5 people up, and half of them are in the upper decks.
Okay.
So just roll me a stealth and see how high that is. So you can quietly get out of the room and go wherever it is you're going. Jesus!
It is not on my side.
That's like literally 1 away from crit on both rolls, isn't it?
You can't actually crit on a ability check. That's just attacks.
But yeah,
I
it is
know,
one away
but
from
yes,
max.
it's literally one away from max each time. God. Alright. So where are you headed?
I'm heading up towards the side of the ship. I'm going to wrap Belena a few times in one of the ropes. And then I'm going to yell at the top of my lungs, "Wake up time!" and throw her overboard.
Jesus. Okay, so yeah, Belena's basically just bound and unable to do anything as she gets shouted at then dropped. Is there anything else we need to roll for this other than maybe tossing her far enough to make sure she doesn't get hit by the boat?
You know, the worst thing that would happen is by the time she escapes and gets out, they already sold the boat and they don't own it and they already moved on to the next boat.
It's not going to take that long. That'd be literally hours from now.
I'm assuming hitting the water would pretty much wake her up instantly.
Either way, yes.
If Thelona's bellow didn't.
Charisma check.
Why are you charisma checking?
I think that was just me moving slightly and I hit my mouse.
Okay. Don't even need a perception check. Actually, perception check to see if the bellow even wakes you up. With advantage. Belena.
Roll with what with disadvantage?
Perception with advantage.
Oh, perception with advantage. Okay, let's turn on advantage. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry, it's been a while since I used these shades.
Yeet. Okay, that was enough. You get shouted at as you suddenly blink your eyes open and realize you're dangling over the side of the ship. That is just seconds before the female barbarian that you're in the arms of suddenly tosses you off the side of the ship.
So
I take
there's a
her with
sudden
me.
feeling.
You can't grab her.
How? You're tied up, remember?
Oh, how did
You
I not wake
are
up?
bound
tied
by a
up?
rope, which is also, by the way, also probably tied to the side of the ship, I assume?
Yeah, yeah. It's like
Specifically-
the anchor rope.
Then I will do the only thing Elena can do. As she's being thrown off the ship, tied up, you hear this. No!
I assume that was a scream of no.
Yeah, we heard no, and then it cut out.
You got too loud.
No splash. And then I'm gonna wait about a minute and haul her back up.
In that minute, Felina, let's see here. What do we do for this? Give me a nature check.
I think trying to break out of the ropes would be like a survival.
I'm
I
not saying
think
breaking out
that's
the
it.
ropes. I'm trying to see if she can at least paddle enough to keep herself buoyant.
Harry rolled, and the answer is no. It's an emphatic no.
And that still would have been survival, not nature, but still, she rolled a 1. Wouldn't have mattered what she picked.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're spouting. You're lucky. I would assume the rope is just short enough to keep you from actually drowning, but you are constantly bobbing in and out of water, spitting and gurgling. And you're struggling in the water for about a minute, although it feels like forever for you. It's only a few moments for Thelona and the others, anyone else who happened to have seen this happen, before you start getting tugged back up into the boat.
I have a question.
Yes.
On any part of my body, is there like a fish that's attached to it, like it's hooked on or something?
A fish?
You know, like on a finger or something. It's just flapping around with its mouth around my finger or something, or a toe.
This isn't a cartoon.
This isn't a cartoon. This is a fantasy world.
Could
If
have fooled me.
you want me to have you attacked by a giant crustacean, yeah, I can do that for you. But you ain't gonna like it. You don't have many hit points.
Matt, let me get this straight. Are you offering to make a giant enemy crab spawn?
Yes.
That would lead Valona to tie up the rope and go, oh, breakfast.
I need to go fishing with Elena's bait more often.
She attracts them better in the water when she's in it herself than when she uses a lure.
You know, let's go with the crab. It'll be hilarious.
You're really going with being attacked by a giant crab?
Why not? It's hilarious as it is.
Alright, let me actually see if there's maybe already something pre-built for this real quick.
There is a giant crab, because remember, we had one as a pet in my campaign.
Oh, that's right.
They're not that strong, but...
Crab. Monsters, crab, giant crab. So actually, let me do this real quick. Add. Character. Giant crab. Might as well just have this on hand. Character sheet. I believe it's this button down here. Yes. Giant crab, and I should be able to grab that. Drop. Yep. Bingo. And stats and everything. So, while you're splashing about in the water, a giant crab has noticed you and has taken interest for whatever reason. Let's see. Claw. It wants to grab a hold of you. What's your armor class?
Probably not that good. Let me check. Armor class 13. Yeah, it got me.
Snap! There's a brief moment where you suddenly see the wizard scream and jump higher in the water.
That would be the trigger to start hauling her out.
Alrighty. And yes, so as you pull her out, you suddenly realize there's a giant crab still attached to... I'm going to assume it's probably attached to her foot.
Alright, I'll get her about halfway up, tie off the rope. It's just like, and that's breakfast. Grab my sword and jump off the boat at the crab.
Okie doke. I guess give me a roll
And
to
I
hit. I'll also see here. Yeah, not a lot of hit points. Damn. Yep. You jump off the side of the boat. You strike the crab, instantly killing it as you fall into the water with its corpse.
And then I'll start climbing up the side of the boat with the crab corpse.
Probably one of its limbs in your maw or something. Just climbing up with it, dangling from your teeth.
Fawn's like, I need to give myself some butter.
Need a large amount of drawn butter. Start the
Are
stove.
you kidding? Crab cakes.
Oh. That'll work too.
Battered crab nuggets.
So after hearing all this commotion, I'm going to say that Garroth did not see any of this that happened until like the last couple of seconds there, when he saw Thelona jump off, and then immediately sees Valena just dangling there, dripping wet. And, oh, sorry, I'll help you. Starts pulling her up the rest of the way.
I'm guessing this was Thelona's revenge.
Basically.
Yes, it was Thelona's revenge. It just went sideways to breakfast.
You finally decided to do something to get revenge that didn't involve killing.
Mm-hmm.
-7 hit points to Valena from the claw snap.
Alright.
I'm trying to remember. Didn't we name the one in my campaign Krabby?
I believe so. We just went to something simple in that group.
Yeah, because...
Oh yeah, Thelona thought up this plan when Gareth was hauling her drunken ass home last night.
Just literally watched for a few moments while on deck and just went, I have an idea.
I'm getting up early. Yeah.
Speaking of people getting up early, and I want to see if they can do it. Because you've given the rogue ideas now. Shenanigans are afoot. Oh, yeah, gets over there just fine, and...
Oh, no.
What's the word I'm looking for? What's the, base perception or whatever?
Base perception, I believe, is 10 plus your... Whatever your bonus is.
Yeah, your passive is 10.
Your passive is 10 plus whatever your perception bonus is. So, like, for me, because I have +7 on perception, it'd be 17 would be my passive perception.
So, we'll see if this actually works. Getting up to them worked, but getting away with it might not have. It's getting a little close. Gotta check another character sheet. Oh, just got away with it. So, Valerius, as you are passed out, at least one deck below behind a barrel.
I think Aaron's in the bathroom right now.
Oh, okay. Was not aware.
I'm only saying that because I realized that the bathroom light's on and the door's closed, so...
Oh yeah, she said BRB bio in the Discord chat.
Yep.
We probably would have been more likely to know if she'd said it in the Roll20
She'll be
lobby.
back in just a second or two.
See, I don't even see that in the
I'm
Discord.
back.
Hello.
Because you got to scroll up past a bunch of the gifts to see it.
You'll
I usually
spam in the
type it in
chat.
but like I didn't this time. I was like, I don't want to show it on the stream. Like,
You're better off doing it there so we can actually see it.
I don't want everybody to know I'm pooping.
Yeah, the problem is more that Zareth posted like 5 gifts in rapid succession afterwards.
God damn it, Zareth!
So, Valerius, as you're passed out
Were they all Game of Thrones?
behind a keg in the second floor of the ship,
I thought I was up on the upper deck or whatever.
well,
That's
I
okay,
assume
though.
you were at least in like the kitchen where all the drinks would be stored anyway. It's my
Yeah.
thought. So, yeah, you'd be
Or the
like
cargo
just inside
hold.
the ship, just passed out in a corner behind one of the kegs. As you're laying there, still passed out this morning, a very sneaky, thin shape slowly slips up beside you, looks you over for a few moments, then reaches down and ever so gently draws a little mustache and a little goatee, and then slips away.
God damn it. You should have a zoom in on my character and just like have the mustache in.
Well,
Goatee drawn
that
on
might
it.
that might be an idea for the title card. Just adding a mustache and a goatee to your character for mustache.
Oh wait, so that should be checking against my what?
That was a check against your I keep forgetting the word for it.
Passive perception.
Passive perception, because you're technically passed out, so you can't actually actively use your perception. But essentially, your
Where is that
passive
on
is
here?
10 plus your perception bonus, which is 4, and they got 15, so they just barely got away with it. You snort and move for a second, but you do not wake up.
Because I thought passive perception was actually on here somewhere.
Not on these sheets. I think it's only on the monster sheets.
Yeah, because they don't expect you to use it for player characters in most cases.
Except I use
For
it
shame.
all the time on my characters.
Alright. But yes.
Now I have a mustache.
You have a drawn-on mustache and goatee before you wake up in the morning.
All right, who's our cook?
Oh, which one was it? Look through
It
the
is
list.
Trent.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the people that's more likely to be awake because he has to get up to make food for everybody.
Yes, he would be. He would likely, like, only a few moments after the thin-shaped figure slips away would be when Trent walks in and starts cooking.
And wonders
Well-
why there's someone passed out near the booze.
He kind of looks over there, sees the feet sticking out, and just went, busy night last night, and starts getting to work.
Actually, probably a moment after that, Kelowna's booms down to the thing. Trent, to the top deck, please.
He kind of stops for a moment.
Trent on deck.
All right, Cottonman. And he puts down the things he was working on and comes up to the top deck.
And Kelowna's there dropping a giant crab.
Thud. Well, special meal this morning then?
I think so. It decided to try to take a bite out of us, and I, went fishing.
Indeed. All right. And he kind of comes over for a moment, picks it up. That should make for an interesting meal. Anything in particular in mind?
Crab cakes.
Nods crab cakes. All right then. And takes a moment to get a good grip on it, lifts the whole thing up, and starts heading back to the kitchen with it.
Or Krabby Patties.
I'm just
And-
thinking about how in Tales of Graces, one of the characters is obsessed with crab omelets.
I thought about that. I honestly thought about a seafood omelet, but
Omelette de fromage.
that's a cheese omelet.
Mm-hmm.
But, I thought the crab cakes might last a little longer.
So as time
Besides,
goes,
we're on a boat, motherfucker. How are we gonna get that many eggs to make an omelet?
well, you happen to be a port, but yeah. I'm assuming then, so the next half hour or so, everyone else is eventually waking up that isn't already up.
I just picture the whole time Lena's just upside down, tied, hanged over Flona's back, and just all wet, and she's spitting out crustaceans and small crustaceans and fish.
I thought Garoth hauled you up on deck, so
Wasn't it you calling me back, or was it Gareth?
Thelona brought you halfway up, and Geralt's the one that actually pulled you the rest of the way up while Thelona was worried about getting breakfast.
Gonna give the crying to Gareth and go, I still smell like crab.
The whole ship is gonna smell like crab. Pats her back. And it's going to be
I still-
delicious.
Meanwhile, I stir in my sleep downstairs. What smells like crab?
Huh.
Yeah, it's just, and Valena gives him a stern look. It's like, yeah, crab, as she's fanning back, and she does not look happy.
What did I do? Just looks confused.
It's the last thing I want to hear right now.
As you walk back back inside the ship, you see the chef already working on making crab patties, as it hisses.
Valena just tears up and he just walks in her room and locks the door.
Told you the whole ship is gonna smell like it now. What? What'd I do? What'd I do wrong? Just sits there baffled on top of the ship for several minutes and then decides, forget it. And goes back to his morning training. I assume Ozzy is probably going to be next to wake up probably around the same time as Theobald.
Probably.
As you head up, if you head up to the top of the ship, which you most likely do just to check on things, you'll see Giselle sitting off to one side, looking very smug for herself at the moment. The cat got the canary look.
I just kind of stop and raise an eyebrow.
She just gives you a big smile and a wave.
Okay then.
She's not gonna say.
I just wait for everybody else to get up for breakfast.
That might be a little while.
Are you all the way on the top deck, or are you just waiting in the galley?
I'll probably go up to the top deck to wait, just to look around make sure nothing's happening on the docks.
Well, the front deck has Garroth training as per usual. It's probably port side aft. You notice there's water all over the deck. Kelowna's there, sans clothing. Her vest and her pants are draped over one of the sail ropes. And she too is practicing with a sword. I suspect all the rest of the crew that are up have an amused look on their face.
The few that were on top deck are definitely amused. The ones that were keeping watch. They've seen most of what happened there.
Uh-huh.
Probably the whisper of, we have some really weird leaders in this ship. Then probably a reply back of, yeah, but it beats being boring.
Well, since everybody else is training with their weapons, I will train with my flute.
Oh wow, you killed it this time.
I'm going to stumble awake and wander around looking for a Mitra Shrine in town.
Oh no!
Didn't know there was a highway to there was a stairway to heaven, the Hyborian version, but there we are. But also, so yes, Valerius, you finally get up and start wandering around, shaky on your feet. You're occasionally getting odd looks. Actually, give me a perception check.
Let me see here.
Depending on how high it is, you'll at least notice that people are giving you odd looks. If it's even higher still, you might actually figure out what's going on. Damn! It takes you a moment or two, but you notice that some of the crew are giving you odd looks.
I touch my face, and when I pull it back, I see black paint. I'm like, what the devil?
You pull your hand back after touching your face, and you find charcoal smeared over your fingertips, yes.
I frantically start clawing at my face.
Was it like a Groucho mustache?
Basically.
I was hoping it was a Freddie Mercury mustache.
That's basically the same thing.
I thought it was like a curly cute mustache. And goatee.
As you're grabbing at your face, trying to get whatever it is off, you
Like,
look
wipe it
yourself
off,
into the
yeah.
water to see your reflection and immediately see that you've somehow overnight garnered a mustache and goatee.
My God, I'm becoming a man.
Hilarious hit puberty.
I stumble up and then I look for. I take it the gangplank is still attached. We're still moored, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Right,
docked.
so I
We're not going
stumble
anywhere.
down the. Somehow stumbled down the gangplank. Do I wind up in the water? Or do I actually make it to shore?
How bad are you?
Pretty bad.
If you're really hammered, actually, let's do this. Look at your character sheet for
Is
a
there
moment
some kind
here.
of stability or acrobatics check or something? Athletics.
Not sure it's gonna be acrobatics. It'd be more of a.
Be more of a dex save.
Well, I'm like trying to think of what you would roll to fight off being drunk.
Be a Constitution check.
Yeah, be a
Yeah.
Constitution check. Give me a Constitution to see how bad you are. I'm gonna say you're actually recovered from it slightly, so at least you're not gonna get like a negative to it. So give me an acrobatics check, to get down there without falling off.
Okay.
You at least got +2 to that.
Oh,
You
oh, yeah.
wobble once or twice, but you managed to make it down. So you managed to make it to the dock. So where are you headed?
Out into town.
Is the mustache still on?
With the mustache and the beard still going? Okay.
It's kind of smeared all over my face, just this black charcoal. So now the whole lower bottom of my face is just like this gray.
Yeah, the more you try to
mass.
rub it off, the more you just smudge it to the point that your entire face is going a dark charcoal color. Yes.
I'm just gonna wander through town until I find the Mitra Shrine.
Well, actually, I'm gonna roll for 2 things. One is finding the Mitra Shrine. Another one is going to be just a friendly idea for you. Roll 1, the friendly idea fails. Roll 2. Did I even roll? Oh, wow. You are having a very hard time finding anything. Literally, you start heading up the roads to go into the main part of the city at the top of the cliff, and you're already starting to feel like you're almost getting lost.
I'm just gonna continue getting lost.
Okay, let's see here.
And she was never seen again.
So, trying to fight being lost, would that be another perception check, or would that be...
That would be more of a survival.
I was gonna say, would that be a survival, though?
Nature?
Be
Well,
wisdom.
you're in a city.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in
Only we had
nature.
street smarts.
Wisdom, actually, well, survival and nature are basically flip-flop. Wisdom and int. But I'll give you the benefit of using it as survival so you don't get lost. So, yeah.
Okay.
Jeez, Louise, you're lost.
So where am I now?
You're just wandering the city. You don't even fucking know. You're just losing yourself this morning.
Where is that mouse? Ah.
You are just clicking everything.
It's, like I said, it's the mouse. I'm grabbing it.
Well, actually, while you're just getting lost this morning, get me another perception check and just see if you find something. Might be nice to at least throw you a bone here if your perception's high enough. There we go. So after a few minutes of already being lost, you do eventually at least find a well. Actually, no, not even a well. You find a spring. Not spring. You find essentially a giant statue motif in one of the crossways, and it's a fountain, essentially.
Okay.
So if you're wishing to, you could probably reach in there, grab a little bit of water, and wash your face off.
I'm just gonna sit there and drink. Drink the water.
Charcoal water.
It helps with gas.
Like, I've completely forgotten that I've got charcoal on my face at this point. I'm just, like, looking for the Mitra Shrine.
Yeah, I think Valena is gonna exit out, storm off the ship, get to shore, and go find a bathhouse or something to watch the smell of crab off her.
You
I don't
literally
think
smell the sea. The crab doesn't really have a smell per se.
Not only that, the crab grabbed you. Like, it's not like the crab smothered you in its crabby goodness.
You smell of ocean, and it smelled of ocean too. Everything
Okay,
here smells of ocean. It's on the ocean.
Let me rephrase it. The ship smells like crab. It's cooking all over the place. It's driving Valena crazy. She needs to relax. She needs to go to the bathhouse.
Okay. Just waiting for an excuse to run away before breakfast. Fine. Sure. Whatever. So that's 2 members that have left before breakfast and aren't coming back before it happens, so...
Valena's like, great, more crab cakes for me.
Did I see Valena anywhere?
Give me a perception. Because most likely there's not a lot of space to go other than up to town. Yeah, you don't see her. If she does happen near you, you just happen to not see her.
Yeah, she just like walks in the background behind me.
Probably takes a right, like a block or so away from you, so you just barely miss seeing each other.
Alright, so now I've got wet charcoal dripping down my face. I'm gonna continue trying to find the Mitra Shrine. Where am I
Alright,
now?
I'll give you one more perception check to try and see a Mitra Shrine.
You should also check Valena to see if her quest to find a bathhouse results in her getting lost.
True. It takes you
I
several...
think
It takes you almost a total of the 5 minutes that you're looking, Valerius, before you finally do find the shrine you're looking for.
Okay,
It is
cool.
it is open this early in the morning because they would not be stewards of the true faith if they weren't there bright and early before dawn.
I stumble up to the porter, make the sign of Mitra, which is, I don't know if it's like a cross sign or whatever, stumble into the temple, and just slump against a wall and fall asleep.
I'm just gonna say that's most likely a hand gesture of some kind, and then you head inside. Although the porter up front is giving you a raised eyebrow because you obviously seem to be of the faith, but you look very odd right now. Not to mention half your hands are covered in charcoal. It's faded out a little bit, but you didn't really particularly try to wash yourself either, so you're just getting more and more covered in the stuff.
I'm here to bathe in Mitra's light, and I stumble inside.
I think you need to bathe in water, but okay. So yes, one more thing. So while you're just passing out there for a couple hours, we're gonna quickly backtrack to Valena. So give me... What was it again? Yeah, give me a survival check.
Survival?
Yes, you're trying not to get lost in the big city.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah!
actually.
Not only are you not getting lost in town, you actually very early on bump into someone who doesn't notice your shock of white hair, and is more than friendly enough to tell a lovely young woman where the local bathhouse is that appears to be new to town. And before long, you're on your way to go get cleaned up again. That being said, back to the ship. Crab cakes, everybody, and bacon.
Still passed out in the Mitra Shrine. I miss out on the crab cakes and the bacon.
Yes, this is your own doing. You're the one that wandered off before breakfast.
Yeah. When it seems like just about everybody's sitting down for breakfast, I do say, well, enjoy our last breakfast on this ship.
To no ship. Glug, glug, glug.
Are you honestly planning on selling it?
Well, there won't be much use for it anymore. We don't have enough. We won't have enough people to man both ships.
Are you sure?
Unless Roger and Tarthun get a whole lot more recruits than I think they're gonna get.
I mean, I think we should think about that possibility first. We're
Well,
still going up against one hell of a giant ship.
I can just picture them coming back.
Even a
Yeah.
2-ship fleet would at least give us a better chance than a single target.
well, this won't be the main vessel anymore anyhow.
Oh, no. You transfer your flag to the big ship, and we start calling you Commodore.
I kind of look at Roger and then I go, do you want to be the captain of the second ship?
Roger kind of blinks, eyebrow raises. Honestly, Captain, I haven't gotten that thought. It might be interesting, though. Kind of looks over to Tarthun, who's usually eating next to him. How about you, second mate? I will not say no.
So obviously I'm going to want Thelona with me, not on the other ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that depends on where it would be more strategic for Thelona to attack from.
Right, but I mean, generally speaking.
It also depends on, well, ship speeds might be a thing too.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I have to double check all the maps, but I think one of them might be faster than the other one, but you can do things to keep them at an even speed.
Yeah, like,
Most of the time, but during combat,
Yeah, during
you had
combat, it's
one
going to be a
ship
different thing, yeah.
laying down the ranged fire, and the other one booking its ass into melee. Just a thought.
yeah, I'm pretty sure if one of them is going to focus on range fire, it's going to be the smaller one because the bigger one's going to be better at dealing with being up close.
Hit the hooks. So anything else during breakfast?
That's pretty
Not
much
really.
it.
Okie doke.
After breakfast, Thelona will go back to her quarters, change into her her other outfit that's not wet, and grab the star medal that she has.
I believe you have
Bring
most,
that
if
in.
not all of it, don't you?
No, I believe the captain had the big one that the big amount that we got.
Okay.
I only had like 2-3 bars.
All right.
And
Right.
I think I had a bar or two and a ore that needed smelting.
Some mores, yeah.
And honestly, because you're traveling through town with such valuable stuff, I'm gonna have I'm sure you're gonna take Theobald with you. Durin's already going with you to help you find the blacksmith. I'm gonna have Sabatai and Kynan go with you as well. Just in case
All
there's
right.
anyone sees you traveling with valuable metal and tries to do something.
Or just being traveling through town with heavily laden packs of who knows what.
Right. That's also more hands to carry all the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it in a chest and yeah.
Ask someone on dock if you can borrow a wagon and get the horses out to stretch their limbs.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. At least, probably wouldn't need all the horses, but...
We'd need at least one or two.
Yeah, Thelona would get hers out. Because she can talk to it.
But I'm gonna head to the what is it, the shipyard? Would be what it's called, or wait,
The dock's shipyard, sure.
right? Because I already talked to somebody when we arrived about it, but they need the actual owner to be there.
Yeah, you're talking to, I'm trying to remember what they call him. The guy who manages the docks.
Right.
But yeah, he can lead you over to the shipyard. Matter of fact, he's probably there already this morning, helping move some more, guide some more ships around.
Well, I think I actually specifically talked to somebody about the fact that I was going to buy a warship. I just don't remember who it was.
It was him, but he's like managing everything. But he does have other guys that he can step away to help finish your attempt to get a new ship.
Right. I'll have Giselle come with me just because, well, we've got a lot of money to.
A lot of money and
drag
extra
to
eyes. Yeah. So I take it you head off to him to
Actually,
try...
is Garoth still consoling Velena, or is he doing something else?
Velena ran
Elena's
off.
gone to take a. She's
Oh yeah,
gone to take
that's
a bath.
right. I might as well ask Garoth to come with us too, just because we're carrying a large amount of money.
Right. And starts
Oh, that's
following you.
right. We're gonna need 2 carts. 2 carts, 2 chests.
The money is not as heavy as the large quantity of star metal, though.
Matter of fact, Geralt could probably just carry it himself.
Yeah, but if you guys are attacked, Gareth will want his arms free.
True.
Right. I
Or you
think
can
we
just use the stack.
we could probably just put it in like a wheelbarrow or something, like the chest in a wheelbarrow.
Nah, give the horses a chance to stretch their legs.
Okay.
A miniature cart. You only needed 1 horse.
Yeah, I'm probably on a 2-horse cart, aren't I?
Mm-hmm. Because that's a lot of ore and ingots you're trying to move around.
Right.
Okay, which one of you guys are good at handling a cart?
Good at handling a what?
Cart.
Cart? Oh,
Yes.
gosh. You're with Subutai and who else?
Kynan, the Asgardian guy.
I actually didn't make a character sheet for him yet.
Was he from it? No, he was from Veneer. That's what it was.
Yeah, because I always referred to him as Veneer.
Is it Veneer or Vanir?
Veneer.
It's I believe a city called Veneer. So
No,
it's near Samaria and the other one.
Oh.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're from Vanaheim, but they're known as the Veneer.
So actually, let me double check. Well, being able to use a cart, would that be a nature check?
I don't think that'd be nature. I think that
If it was
probably be
horses, it would be animal handling, but a cart.
It is animal handling.
But I don't know that there's an actual animal handling thing, is there?
yeah. There's
Yep.
a
There
skill
it is.
check for that.
How come he doesn't have it? Yeah,
Who doesn't have it?
Subutai. His character sheet doesn't have it for some reason.
That's weird.
That's my thought. What the heck?
Well, you could always just have him do a wisdom check because that's what stat it uses.
Yeah, basically what it is, and I don't think it's any better than Thalona's.
Alona only has a +1, so.
Oh, actually, he has a +4 to that. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the two of them look at it, and Subutai kind of walks up. I'll give it a try. Let me see here.
Oh boy.
he gives a snap, yeah, and it just kind of one of the horses just kind of huffing. Neither of the movies just.
You know, you got
a long day.
You got Theobald with you. He should be decent at it because he's got high wisdom.
The horse whisperer.
Okay, it's animals, so.
Theobald kind of raises his eyebrow. Mind if I give it a try? Oh, please, by all means. Subutai hops out.
Fuck.
He has an even lower wisdom, actually.
Wait, what?
Theobald only has a 3, Subutai has a 4.
Oh,
doesn't matter! Theobald just marches up there like a heavily armored champ, grabs the reins good and tight, snap! Yeah! And the horses actually finally start moving forward. It does seem I have a good hold on them. And starts guiding them around the corner.
Thelona will ride her horse next to the cart.
Okie doke. Subutai just like takes back seat with oh gosh, why am I forgetting names so easily today?
Seraph, I'm thinking of your white horse back in Exiles. You need to take that thing out and get it some levels.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, with, God, brain. Subutai takes the back seat with Conan, and they just kind of watch over the materials as the cart starts moving through the city, and you go to meet up with. Wow, my brain cannot remember names for more than 5 minutes tonight.
Durin.
Durin, yeah.
Pretty sure he probably stayed at the ship with us because he's joining the crew, but
I can't remember if I don't think we really said if he was going to stay at the ship or if he already had his own room that he was going to stay at again.
Oh, true.
Which he most likely did, so he was probably just told you where to go and meet him in the morning.
Yeah, I guess if he'd already paid for a room, he's not going to want to waste it.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Probably should deal with my thing first, though, because, like, obviously, the ship place is closer to the dock.
True, yeah, you would get to your location sooner.
And I didn't already spend a chunk of the session pranking another character.
I think Elena's all pranked out.
I guess one of us is gonna need to do animal handling to get the gold.
Yeah, I think
moved.
I'm the wisdom person, aren't I? One of the other wisdom people?
Yeah, but you
Don't-
ran off.
I know.
Yeah, I don't have a high wisdom. I don't know if Giselle or Garroth got better than me. I have just a +1.
You have a +1 wisdom. Garroth has a +0. And Giselle also has a +0 wisdom. You're the highest one here.
Actually, I don't even actually have a wisdom bonus, but because of the fact that I get like half my proficiency on all skill checks because of that one bard thing, it's pretty much the only reason I have a +1 in it. So I guess I'll try.
Okie doke.
I guess it makes sense because we're probably going to use my horse. Ugh.
Off to a rocky start, you can't seem to get the horse moving. It just kind of sits there and huffs. Giselle immediately hops up afterwards and tries to give you a hand. And makes the horse rear and almost knocks the cart off. Never mind, and slips off. So animal handling really is our only choice for this.
I
Pretty
think
much.
this is something that normally the DM probably wouldn't even make you make a check for, but because it is a horse I've used before, so you would expect it to just kind of do what I want it to.
Well, this is in a
But-
bad mood.
Well, they've also been kind of sat in a boat for how many weeks at this rate.
True.
So they're ornery and they would rather just be out
I have
frolicking rather than
I
working.
have an idea.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go get go run back to the boat real quick and go to the kitchen and see if I can find an apple.
Okay.
Have we taken on supplies at this dock?
We tend to at every stop we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
almost on the
since we were
regular
s-
have the crew members go out and
But-
get resupplies of food, yeah.
But yeah, as we were switching boats, I didn't know we did that yet.
Probably haven't, but we should have a lot of stuff left over because we've really stocked up at the last port.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's only been a couple days since
So
our
are
last
there
airport, so
are
you
there
should
any
start now.
apples or carrots or anything like that that would probably be a good food item to try and get a horse to do what you want it to?
I gave it a chance roll, and it rolled pretty decently high, so I'm going to say yes, you find it takes you a few moments, but you do find a couple spare apples.
Okay. Well, how am I gonna do this? I go back to the horse and I kind of like try petting it and offering it an apple.
The little hearts show up over it.
I was gonna say, should I do like a persuasion check?
I was actually going to say you can do a persuasion with advantage. There you go. It takes you a few moments, but your idea seems to have worked. You feed the horse at least half of the first apple, and you start leading it on, and it finally starts to willingly follow.
Okay. I had to resort to bribery, but I've managed to solve the situation. All right, so
And after a few and after I would say at least teasing it along with giving it bits of the first apple, you finally get moving long enough that it finally willingly decides to keep moving.
okay.
So you're able to hop onto the cart and quickly get going again.
Right. Okay, and that shouldn't take us too long to get there because that's
Should be relatively close by. You just have to stop to pick up the. Oh gosh, what do you call it? Like, it's not dock hand. It'd be
the harbor.
the
master.
harbor master. Yeah, that. Just finally just launched from my brain around the same time you said it. Yeah. So you get a hold of the harbor master really quick. He willingly hops onto the cart with the rest of you, and you eventually head back over to where the shipyard is, where they have been making warships in particular for this event. And you manage to get over there just as one of the newest ones is actually getting pushed out into the open. There's one person on the wheel at hand, a couple others on board helping to slowly ease it out of its original docking area. The sails are already on and working as it starts to catch wind for the first time and slowly starts to tug back out into the open sea. As you're watching this happen, you see that on the nearby corner, also watching from the shipyard's docks, is a rather well-to-do man, although he's well-to-do, but he is not beyond being a rough-and-tumble looking guy himself. He just looks nicer, more nicely presented and a little more cleaned up than some of the others that are there. And as they're getting the ship out of the dock without any incident, you see him clap and shouting at them to carry on, and he then looks back to you, your lot coming up behind him.
All right. I wave as we're approaching.
He nods and starts to approach as well. And then he also notices the harbor master, and then nods to him as well. I see you bring new interests. What brings you over to the shipyard?
I need to get a warship.
He blinks, kind of looks up to you, and then looks back to the boat that the big ship that just got out. You couldn't have picked a better time.
I hold out my hand for a handshake and introduce myself as Captain Arzina Arcane.
Captain, and the man takes your hand. I am Elduth. I am the owner of this particular shipyard. We are not normally hired by the city to produce massive ships, but it seems certain times call for certain measures, and I can't say that I argue against the amount of coin coming in for it.
No, I'm sure that these assholes have made it personal for a lot of people.
Indeed, quite a few people, in fact. He kind of looks back at the ship and then kind of thinks about it for a moment. I honestly can't say I know for sure anyone who hasn't been at least in some way affected, both with the trade routes getting disrupted, the regular pirates not being particularly overly vicious themselves, suddenly getting roosted out and pushed away. Hell, at this point, I'd rather work and trade with any of the others to the north than to deal with this lot. But I assume that's kind of what you're here for, yes?
Yes. I met these guys before they were as big as they are. They destroyed my old crew.
Well, no sweeter revenge than coming back to give them what for. So I take it you're here to get to the vessel then?
Yeah, I have the necessary coin in the cart behind me.
He does look over to the cart, and not an overly sizable one, but he also does see the large chest. He's like, you have been a very busy lot indeed. I assume you have more of you on your previous ship?
Yeah. And I also have crew members going out to recruit more hands to help man this ship.
Indeed. You're going to need quite a few extra hands, depending upon the size of your original ship. Also, further question. How experienced are you with cannons?
I've only heard of them.
Indeed. It seems to be a recent development, especially with these accursed Eclipse. We are going into more and more outlandish means. The long and the short of it, as he kind of directs you back over towards the dock, as the ship is still kind of rounding the corner. They're taking their time to make sure it doesn't get battered on its way out, because it is a very large ship. But they have, for the most part, cleared it. And he points up to some of the square holes that you can see actually in the side of the ship that are covered over with another flap of wood just to kind of keep the elements out. Inside of those squares up there, there's what is called a cannon. These are big, massive things made out of metal, and they are partially put onto a set of wheels. One needs to only be strong enough to lift the back end and push it out, and then he points up to the flaps again. Those will open up and make way for the cannon, and then all you have to do is light it, as long as you have the black powder and the iron balls within to launch them at your enemies.
I say, does that bring up the cost of the ship at all?
Actually, since the local governments are working hand in hand overnight on this as quickly and as hard as possible, we are actually able to produce these a little bit faster. We don't have the best blacksmiths, but we have quite a number of them working on it, so they are also being very well paid. The best blacksmiths would still be within town, and they would still have openings, but we have quite the list of men working night and day on getting these cannons ready. and also an extra list of alchemists working on the said black powder to make sure that everyone's armed and ready to go. All you have to do is pack in the powder, which also comes in a pre-made pouch with this little bit of rope string coming out of it. You light that rope string, which will stick out the back of your cannon when it's loaded with the ball, and the resulting minor explosion will launch the ball for you with whatever it's aimed at.
So more or less, so I'm out of character. So the ship is still just 25,000 like a regular warship.
Yes, basically because of the extra
Government
help from
helping
multiple
fund it.
governments trying to get rid of these Eclipse guys. They're basically streamlining the process of getting these ships out and armed. Normally it would be a lot more red tape, but they are like, we need a Armada to deal with this now, fast, get as many hands as we can.
Okay.
And they also streamlined the building of the cannons just a little bit, so that even the normal blacksmiths can handle being able to make these as quickly as possible. And obviously a big lump of iron is a big lump of iron. As long as it's in a semicircle, it should launch in the general direction you're looking for.
Alright, so... I'll have Yaroth help me bring the chest down.
Right, it shouldn't take them too much to help with that.
Right. Oh, I put it down and I open the chest to show the
coffers are filled to the brim, yes.
right. That there's 15,000 gold and 1,000 platinum, and I have a jewel just sitting on top of them.
Just as a nice
top
little
it off.
garnish.
Yeah. Like
So you pop that open and you just let the little display read for itself, and he's just like, my goodness, you don't see that every day, do you? You have been definitely busy.
I'm guessing most of your clients haven't killed a bunch of demons.
I can't say that most of them have done much against these pirates either, but I assume, again, since you've actually survived them, you've been quite busy with many things. Demons and pirates. Next thing you're going to tell me, you've been working with wizards and dealing with dragons.
Haven't met any dragons yet.
He kind of looks at you, points. Well then, 1 out, 2 ain't bad. Just be careful the deals you make with wizards.
I know to be careful around wizards. Most of the ones I've met are weird, to say the least.
You get an instant smile from this man, as if he's been around too. Indeed, most generous phrasing of it.
Actually, that's weird. Out of character now that I think about it. I think Tarthun is probably the most normal wizard I've met.
He's just quiet and moody, yeah. He's just generally quiet.
The other ones are Felena, the White Witch, and the crazy guy from the tower.
So, Grace cultist that's still dealing with her baggage. Crazy lady that was running the cult, and Wackadoo man who has a giant teleportation circle and gets high.
Do you know that when you're not around, Tarthun is dressing up in Velena's clothing, going, "I feel pretty, oh so pretty."
Bitch, please! I look better in this robe. I should
just see Valena. Yeah, just see
maybe
Valena
something
walk
in silk.
see Valena walk on him one time and he just goes, "I'm sorry, but that dress does nothing to your figure. You should try this one."
And ironically, he's just in the crew because he's the only guy that we didn't kill before I had a chance to try and question anyone from that crew that we fought.
In fact, I believe he accidentally killed his boss, didn't he?
Yeah, because he cast a fireball while he was blind.
That's right.
Because she was unconscious but still alive, and then he freaking roasted her while he was trying to attack us.
The things you do to Shanghai someone into the crew.
You killed your boss. Good job. You want to join our crew now? Maybe.
This is after I punched one of his teeth out.
It's just
reminiscing.
yeah.
Oh,
the good
anyhow.
old days.
Walking
Yeah.
through the park and reminiscing.
But anyhow,
But yeah,
I-
so
but after showing him the money, I do tap the gem. I go because I say I like to make friends. I'm pointing out that it's more than the actual cost by a little bit.
he kind of takes a moment to realize what the gesture means and then goes, I see, indeed. Always good to rub shoulders a bit, eh?
Yeah.
So I assume you have a standard for the ship, and you most likely have the new one with you, I assume?
Yeah, I would. I'm sure we would have. If I didn't think of it, Giselle probably would have mentioned it.
Giselle
bring
just
it with us.
kind of slowly slides it out of her vest and kind of casually hands it over.
Right. Trying to remember, isn't it like a bear with like horns that has
Something.
a balancing scale of like justice in its mouth?
I believe it was something along those lines, yes.
Are we getting a figurehead, or do we just have to keep strapping Velena to the front of the ship?
It's a nice big ship, but as nice as it is, yeah, they don't really have time to make figureheads in advance. They're just trying to make these as quickly as possible.
We can upgrade it later. But yeah, that's our flag.
He nods, and
I would not be surprised if you get a ship later and Velena's the mass and the ship's name says crazy and then says witch, but there's a B that's crossed out before the W.
nah, it'd be messy.
Okay.
You know what it is before you brand it. Anyway, so the shipyard owner basically gets the general idea where you guys are stationed, and will try to move your new warship to the closest possible spot next to your current ship, allowing you guys to basically take the cart back and return it, and also to get everyone ready at your normal ship to start transferring things over.
Right. Actually, one thing I should ask while we're here. I asked the shipyard master, is there somebody I would need to talk to in town if I wanted to acquire a couple cannons for the old ship?
In town? He kind of ponders for a moment if any of the current blacksmiths that they're using are still stationed in town or not. I do not think they're in town anymore. You would actually be better off, and he points to the back, like, the shipyard is a long building that's a good portion of it is stationed right over a bit of water. But as he points to the back, you can see that there's a lot of lights flickering and going off back there, along with a little bit of hammering. You'd be best off to actually ask them and bring your own cart again, and you probably can buy a couple of them off of them ahead of time. They are being streamlined, so they are making them as quickly as possible, and there could be a few extras by the time you come back.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind after I figure out what the situation with my crew is. Not
Indeed.
sure if we're going to need the other ship or not still until after I see how my men have done at recruiting more crew hands.
Indeed. Well then, you have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you. He proceeds back to work, and basically allows you to get back into the cart, as he also motions to a couple men to grab the chest and bring it back to his office.
So I'm guessing we're gonna switch over to Thelona.
Yep, so yeah, at this point we might as well switch over to Thelona. So Thelona and crew, with a little less issue, got their wagon going. 2 horses, and at least a couple of men to keep an eye on the wagon as you're going, as well as Thelona herself on her horse on the side. So I think the first thing to decide is, does anything happen to any of the minerals along the way? Boink. Well, that's very nice of it. Gave you a 16, so that's above average on... Nope, nothing really happened. You hit a few hard bumps, but nothing manages to escape. Anything that did try to jump up, the boys have been quick to quickly grab or make sure that as they felt the bumps that nothing was getting out. So you meet up with Durin, who is...
I figured it would be in a chest. I don't think we'd want that stuff on display.
Well, you never know if it might try to jump out if you hit something hard.
I don't know if you'd be able to fit it all in the chest, but you probably have it wrapped in bags or something, so it's not just sitting out.
Because otherwise, you're just basically, advertising,
You'd have it covered one way or another. It probably wouldn't all fit in one chest because I don't think you have actually own a large chest. At least not that big. But you probably have at least half or more inside the chest, and then a couple of other things, like the ores maybe inside of a couple bags.
Well, hell, Matt, give me some shaped wood and some iron. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Shaped wood at this hour.
Anyway.
But yes, you managed to get up to Durin, who then is able to easily lead you over to the market and carefully making your way some of the crowds, because man, these people are numerous. You've been to some busy places. This place is almost making you claustrophobic just getting down the street at some points. But you eventually do make it to a relatively large, dark brick building, and you can very distinctly hear the sharp pings of hammering going on inside as the high-grade craftsman here seems to already be at work.
All right.
So I take it you gather your things and head inside?
Yes.
All right. Trying to think. Yeah, it's you, Theobald, and Subutai. Just double checking. I remember who all's here that's got character sheets. All right. Close, but not the same. And this one, I assume. Yeah, actually, we'll go with that. So, Thelona, let me a perception. All right, 19. As you're getting all this stuff ungeared, obviously you're like a little wary of having to lug all this really expensive material around, and you do give a very casual but also very long, detailed look around. And other than a few eyebrows raised, but people then proceeding to carry on with whatever else they were doing, it does not seem that everyone has been following you. So,
all right.
So far you seem to have made it into the clear, getting into the blacksmiths with the
all right.
materials you have on hand.
I would have the guards stay there with most of the material.
So yeah, you make it inside, you drop off, you at least get inside the doorway and then have the guys stand there as you, I assume, try to approach the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
As you come up to the blacksmith, you see a relatively large man. He seems almost double the usual bulk you would expect from the locals. You'd almost think he might have some sort of Sumerian blood or something in him to be that large, but otherwise the rest of his features do seem to be that of a normal local, as he kind of slowly looks up, nods to you, stops what he's working on, and puts the heated metal into a bit of water to soak for a few moments and cools down and comes out. Yes, hello. What can I help you with?
Well, rumor has it that you are the best blacksmith in town.
The smile slowly grows under that big mustache of his. I've been rumored to be as such, yes.
And that you have the ability to work with certain exotic material?
His eyebrow then quirks. Indeed, I have been learned in such materials. What may you perhaps be working with today?
She will unwrap one of the bars.
He blinks and looks at the strange blue hue of the bar that you hold out and just goes, God, star metal I have not seen in 20 years.
Well, we have a formidable supply of the stuff and a list of weapons we would like made with it.
He again quirks an eyebrow. Very fortunate then, yes. So looking to process some new goods out of it, yes?
Yes. Question, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Would you have given Thelona your old sword?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I mean, it'd be stupid to hold on to it for later, because even without,
I just wanted to make sure.
Because even
All
without
right.
it, I'm not defenseless because I have spells.
So, here is a list of the star metal stuff we would like made.
Starts looking through the series of weapons. Alright, that seems most doable.
And then I would motion these guys to start bringing in the bars.
So they start bringing in more of it, yep.
I do have a chunk of it raw that would need to be smelted first.
He nods. That will add to the wait time of it, but we can definitely do this, yes. Matter of fact, he looks to the back room where here's one of his men working on cleaning up. And then you hear him speak in another tongue for a moment, basically calling on him and calling him over. We are going to be working with raw materials. Go get me... what was it now? Go get me some of the extra sulfur, and also get me some of the black ice. Have not needed to use it in a long time. Gonna need it tonight.
Very good. Otherwise, other than that, you should find that we have enough star metal to make the weapons that we have selected. In addition, and Thelona would pull out Xena's sword, we would like this melted down and turned into a shield.
Kind of takes a moment to examine it a little bit closer. Interesting. Atlantean, is it not?
Yes.
Make for a very nice shield indeed, yes. That is also doable. We can definitely work something out with that.
So, now that you know what I want, now we discuss price, yes?
Indeed. There is some price for the extra components.
Of course.
And a little bit of the work time, of course.
Of course. And of course, like most things in town, all things are negotiable.
Indeed. How soon are you looking to get out of here with your fine weapons ready?
Within the next few days. We are
Nods.
currently outfitting a new ship. Or we are purchasing a new ship, we'll need to outfit it, crew it up, etc. But would like to be leaving soon after that.
Nods a little bit. Indeed. Yes. Don't want to waste too long. I assume you're part of the armada they're making up?
Correct.
Nods again. With that, you are also in a bit of luck. as the local lords are well aware that the crews of these armadas would also be looking to rearm themselves, so they will actually cover a partial bit of the price. Not a lot of it, though, mind you, but they are willing to cover basics, so they are able to at least accommodate for some of my work time. But the rest of it, he kind of ponders it over, and looks at the list of weapons again and the extra side work, and he's like, should be able to get it done in 2 days at, say, 50 gold.
35.
45.
40.
A hard bargain indeed. Oh, great, 40. He reaches out a
And
hand
we'll
to shake
put out
on
her
it.
hand.
Yep.
I will give you 20 now and 20 on completion.
Fair enough. Holds out his hand to take the first 20 if you have it.
And she'll drop 20 in there.
Chunk. Ah, indeed. He kind of pulls it open to have a quick look, and he can tell just by the weight alone that there was enough in there, and just double checking and then
Actually,
ties it up.
hang on. Let me check something real quick.
Hmm?
Actually, he only got 2 coins,
Oh,
but they were platinum.
He looks confused as you pull out a hand without a sack, and then when he sees the coins that are left behind, he's just like, very busy workers, alright. He pockets the couple of coins. I'm gonna go drinking late night after work.
You name the bar, I'll join you. Probably the first round on me.
You get a good chuckle out of him. We'll see. I'm also going to be a very late night worker. Been very busy, so we're trying to get things done as quickly as possible. But I happen to have a few friends that might still be open very late at night, but we'll see about that. Not every night either. We'll see how long this takes. And he picks up one of the ore chunks you've given him, and he looks at it. Never seen it very often with just the raw. I'll have to take some notes on that too.
I mined that meteorite myself.
He nods to you and looks back at it. Not bad job. Just needs a little cleanup.
Dragged it all the way across Hyboria. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Think about where she got it.
Mm-hmm.
Had it for so long, but had no way to do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that done, I
And now we're
assume.
hitting the pay.
Yep. And with that done, I assume you're basically done with that and gonna head back to the ship then.
I actually have a couple of other minor things in the marketplace.
Marketplace. All right.
Okay. I will go up to my horse, blow a ring of animal communication, and go. You know, you've been down in the hold for a while. You must be hungry for something fresh. What would you like to eat?
Honestly, what would a horse want to eat?
Carrots,
Well,
apples.
hay, oats, carrots, apples.
It probably kind of gives you back the reply of like basically apples and carrots, some really fresh, nice ones.
Cabbage.
So I'll travel around the market till we find a fruit vendor. And I'll buy a bushel of fresh apples and some carrots. I'll treat the horses. And the last thing I'm going to do is buy a loot.
Okay.
I've been playing an improvised loot for days. I don't play it well, but I play it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually getting a real one now.
All right.
I would love if you get it like a double-headed loot.
Fortunately,
No.
Azina can't train you how to play properly because she doesn't know how to play a lute.
No. And I mean, you know, the one Thelona has is closer to a banjo because it was made with a spare ship's wheel and a board that Thelona stuck strings to and started playing.
Start twanging.
Yep.
And honestly,
But
there wouldn't be a
by
reason
popular
for a double.
demand, yeah,
There wouldn't be a reason for a
by
double because you
popular
don't have
demand,
electric or
she's
anything. So.
grabbing the loot so that they can stop complaining about her horrible improvised
Makeshifty instrument.
yes. She's still strumming, ears are bleeding. I still don't know what she's singing.
Some 90s grunge song.
Yada yada. Weird Al.
Something with more tacos.
I could go for a taco right now. Anywho. Let's see here, we're down to our last half hour. Anything? Oh, I guess we should probably revisit the others. So, Blarius, you've been allowed to at least rest for a couple hours. What do? Do you wake up? Do you do something else?
I'm crying holding a rat in the temple.
Holding a
about what
rat.
failure I am. Yeah, like that's the head priest, or what I think is the head priest. Going, I'm a failure. I'm a failure.
God, I can go for tacos right now.
Is there an actual head priest there that can come up and like maybe console me or something? Maybe tell me to get back to my ship.
So you're basically just sitting there bawling to yourself until someone comes up to you.
Yeah, basically.
After a while of sitting there, you're already getting weird side glances from some of the people, but now that you're literally curled up in a ball, making a slight quiet fuss to yourself, eventually one of the higher-up priests of the shrine do come over to visit you. Seeing you, garbed as you are, but also the mess that you are, he raises an eyebrow but continues to approach. Dear child, what is your problem?
I was in a contest to convert people and I failed, and I went out drinking and I failed at that, and I think I have some black stuff on my face and I failed at that. What should I do with my life now? I don't know if I can be a good priest.
Child, just because you've had one half day does not mean that you have failed in your duties. Did you not reach more followers in Mitra? Did you not convert some of them if this was surely a struggle to match their numbers as well?
Yeah, I guess.
You're still doing the master's work then. Besides, are there not more people that need you then? Apparently you must be a part of another group.
Oh yes, I should probably get back to them. How long have I been here?
You've been resting here at least a couple hours, my dear.
Oh, my head is killing me. I better get back to the boat.
I would suggest less drink if you're not used to it.
Yes. Thank you, good sir. Thank you,
There's
good
no
priest.
problem. Remain faithful to your cause. Your friends will obviously still need your help before whatever journey you're on is through. Especially if it has to deal with any emotions outside to these damnable pirates that have moved in recently.
Pirates? Moved in recently? Where?
He kind of raises an eyebrow. The Eclipse pirates that have moved into the area. They've been causing no end of trouble. Surely you've heard about them.
Ah, how should we defend ourselves against such fiends?
Remain true to your faith and your cause, my dear.
Ah,
It's obvious that you would not be part of our brotherhood if you did not have the gift. The gift comes in many different ways, some of them more natural to us than others.
indeed. Thank you for your words of wisdom, good father. I shall make way back to my people and continue to shepherd them on.
Indeed, it is no problem. You continue to join your friends and you continue upon your path. May Mitra guide you. And kind of does a similar hand symbol to what you did earlier and then steps out of your way.
I stumble along. Do I puke?
I would assume at this point you're basically over it by now.
Okay, cool.
You've rested a
just
couple
kinda
extra
stumble
hours. You're
along.
basically done.
Okay.
You maybe have a stumble at first when you get up, but before too long you're back to basically normal again as you're heading back down the road. Now the next question would be, can you get your way back?
Yeah. Alright, so I make my way back.
So I believe
Time
that...
he gets back, we've switched boats.
I board our old boat and be like, who are you people?
We're the new owners.
We haven't, technically haven't sold it, so.
So yes, give me a survival.
Okay. Like, they sail off with me. Wait, I think that I'm on the wrong ship.
As you start to head down the road, it does seem vaguely familiar to you. You take a couple of turns, and you find yourself near the cliff side, and you very quickly find your way down to the road to get you back down to the docks.
Do I see
You
anyone
have
familiar?
found your way back out of the city.
Yay.
And without too much issue can make your way back down to try and meet up with the others again. Which then brings us back to Valena. Oh, did
Okay.
you have something else?
Am I meeting up with Ozzy?
Like, she's just trying to have a good time at the bathhouse. You know, get a massage, oil, bathe in oils and stuff.
I would assume by the time you get back to the ship, the Ozzy's crew will be back, and they're probably already talking about the new ship and starting to pack things up to make the move over.
Okay.
Would be most likely about the time you get back. But as I was saying, so then we move on to Valena, who was looking for a bathhouse and found it very easily with a little bit of help.
She's just bathing in oils, getting massage if possible, and all other stuff. Just trying to relax. She had a stressful morning.
Alright, I would say all said and done, you probably cost yourself 2 gold.
2 gold? Okay.
It's not overly fancy, but it is a nice place.
2 golds. That leaves me. Oh gosh, I forgot. No, it's working. Just slow. Okay.
Yeah,
took
for
off
a
the 2
reason,
gold.
these character sheets have gotten really slow
Oh.
to respond to certain things. But yeah, so spent about 2 gold getting yourself pampered and back into a better mood.
Yeah, and she comes back on the ship or where the ship is.
Yeah, and you found your way through relatively easy the first time. I'm going to say it doesn't take you very long to find your way back.
Right. And does she see the rest of the crew there?
By the time you get back, I would say at least the Ozzy's portion of the crew has already come back, and they're starting to make preparations to get stuff ready. Which means that Geralf is also down in your shared room helping to get some of his gear at the very least out of the way and start bringing it up to the top.
She looks at him and goes, "Do you notice anything different?"
Wait, who's she saying this to?
Geralf.
He kind of blinks, looks at you for a moment. Your hair looks nice and soft and lovely, and you smell a little bit better. And gives you a kiss on the forehead and continues on.
Oh my gosh, he actually noticed something for once.
He does care.
She noticed I changed my hair.
Lordy, this relationship. Even as he's hearing that she's happy, he's probably still thinking to himself, Lord, how did I get into this?
And then she comes
Stop
up and
getting into crazy. That's how you got into this.
she comes up, kisses him on the neck, and goes, "You get a special treat tonight."
He blinks, raises an eyebrow. In the new room. And starts walking again.
Sure has lots of space.
We'll see. It should be bigger.
She starts packing her things and gets ready to move on the next ship.
How did you get into this? You stuck it in the crazy.
Yeah, I guess I'd work on moving my stuff from the old captain's cabin to the new one while I wait for Roger and Tarthun to get back, so I have an idea of how well they've done on recruiting people.
Yes, speaking of which, you did send them off to try and see if they could recruit both word of mouth and with a bit of extra coin left over.
Yeah.
So, let me see here. Honestly, you probably have enough men right now to just get the current new ship running, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so. We got like about as many as you'd expect to have.
Well, okay. I did a double roll since it's two of the boys heading out there to do this. By about the time that Thelona's back and most of you have gathered most of your things up to the top of the ship to start getting ready to transport it over and probably start filling wagons with that, Tarthun and Roger come back with at least 15 more men following them.
That's definitely enough to man the old ship.
I think we've done quite well, Captain.
That you have. I go, we're probably going to be here a few more days because work we're having done is going to take a while. So, I actually I give them the, what is it? I give them like 6 of the gems that are worth like 100 gold each, and I say, I tell them where they need to go to try and get a couple cannons for the old ship.
Okay.
Am I back by now?
Yes.
Captain, if I might.
Yes.
If you're planning on making this a ranged ship, you might see if they have the smaller long-range cannons.
Wait, was Thelona even there for the cannon conversation?
No, but I
No.
just heard cannons for this ship.
Right.
Oh.
Go
And
to
I
mean
was there for the
Initial
close
talk
range
about...
versus long range, yeah.
Yeah, and a couple other things, yeah.
What do you mean smaller cannons?
Well, if you look on some of these ships, they got these big, huge cannons,
Yeah.
and then they got the slightly smaller ones. I would assume the smaller ones shoot farther. Otherwise, why would you not have a big cannon?
Okay. I'm assuming Tarthun and Roger were still there to hear that.
Yeah. You had just barely gotten them the gems when this conversation struck up, yeah. So the both of them nod. Longer range cannons, gotcha. And smaller also makes sense to be given that it's a slightly smaller ship too. Less weight
No,
and
I
everything.
didn't want to use specific terms, but technically what Thelona's referring to are called culverins.
Hmm.
They're smaller cannons that are used for long range shot. I know more about cannons than I should. I've played way too much Uncharted Waters.
figured it was going to be one of those sea-based games, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Obviously, I take some time to look over the ships, and so we need to refamiliarize myself with it since it's a new ship.
Yeah, so they do manage to get a spot for the new ship that's just a couple of spots over, but it's still enough that you're going to want to cart a lot of things over and then unload it again, because it's just going to be a lot easier to move things that way.
Right.
So yes, you get aboard the ship. It's almost twice the size of your previous one. It's probably it's probably the same size as the ship you were originally on. As you're kind of mulling it over and looking things up and down.
The only ship that's bigger than this is a galley, and this is probably more built for actual combat than that is.
Mm-hmm.
So is this like a brigantine or?
The warship.
Yeah.
The old ship was a long ship, I think.
Oh,
The one we had before that was what was it called? A keel boat?
Yep.
okay.
The
previous one was one we actually got from defeating the people that owned it.
Wait, so now are we the pirates?
No, we took it from pirates.
So we're privateers, technically.
Buccaneers.
Actually, we're bounty hunters, or what we are.
Yeah,
Technically.
bounty hunters. In fact, that's why Azina started referring to herself as a pirate hunter. She just needs to, have 3 swords and hold one of them in her mouth.
What?
Oh, I thought being bounty hunters meant that we all had to buy clothing to dress up like Boba Fett.
No, I get the reference, Ozzy.
I'm posting it for anyone that didn't, though. This might be a good spot to stop for the night, just so we don't get too much into anything else when we are about to stop anyhow.
So yep, so we're going to end there. The crew is starting to transfer things over to the new ship and get things settled, and that's probably going to take the majority of that day anyways, and maybe a partial bit into the next.
Zarift.
But that's going to be it for tonight. So with that said, thank you all for watching. See you all next time, and have a good night. And we'll hopefully be back in 2 weeks.